Welcome indeed to this second segment here on Farm Kenya. My name is Peter Wakaba, and on this segment I'm joined by two very esteemed guests, of course, here to discuss the pork value chain. We're talking about pork from value addition, from the farm to fork, and the value addition that happens there in between. Of course, speaking to farmers and consumers, just to give you insights into this. Where you can find your place to cover niche along the value chain. It could be at production stage, it could be at consumption stage, you could be a butcher, you could be a chef. Indeed, that whole gamut of things, we are going to talk about that here today. And of course, to set us off into that, two guests, Dr. James Wanjohi, a renowned veterinary surgeon. He is here next to me on my left hand, Gitonga Nderito, who's a successful pig farmer and a chef of some renown as well. We, of course, want to get into that discussion right now. I want to start off with you, Dr. Wanjohi. And the question is, why talk about pork? Why is pork considered important today? We have beef, we have chicken, we have mutton, we have such a huge selection of meat. Why is pork considered important?
Thank you very much, Kaba. And I believe that pork is the food currently to provide meat now, and as the country moves to what we call middle income, true middle income status, pork will be mainstreamed as together with the poultry. It will be mainstreamed. Pork will move from number 3, 4 to number 2, around number 2.
You said it is the food of civilization.
Yes, it's the food of civilization.
Why?
Because if you consider one is that pigs are very prolific.
Yes.
If you have one mother, a mother today, or the one that we call a sow.
Yes.
It is possible to give you 20 pigs in a year. That can give, if you do a raffle of you are selling price of 70 kg or 75.
Yes.
We're talking about 3 tons. 3 tons of meat.
From just one.
From just one mother.
In a year.
So if you are to compare that with beef, even if you layer in whatever you include whatever inputs,
yes,
it's very rare to get past 350 kilos. That is the reason.
That is interesting. And if you think about places like China and many other places, even parts of Europe, pigs are mainstream. Literally, it's what they eat.
Yes.
So are you saying that this is why it's called the pig of civilization, the food of civilizations?
Yes, the food of civilization, because as people move from what we call the rural to urban,
yes,
the stereotypes that comes from the rural and also some religion.
Yes.
As we shed those things, pork becomes the meat of choice.
Let's talk to the man who's actually walking the talk, Bwana Gitonga. Successful pig farmer. Has the food of civilizations been working for you? We're saying you're successful. Talk to us about why you started, why you're in pig farming in the first place.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to, before I get to that, I would like to annex or add to what he was talking about.
Yes.
And when people take meat, they take it because of it being tasty, and they also take it because of the amount of calories that you will generate from it. When we take pork, we take beef, we take mutton, we take fish, we take chicken. Apart from mutton, it's only pork that will give you way more calories than the rest. So, as he did say, and rightly so, that this pig, and many people are able to wean piglets, that is, from the time they were born or when they were farrowed. Nowadays it's easy to get 12, 14, 16 or something like that. But let's say you are able to wean 10 per pig.
Yes.
And I always like kind of giving like where you start. Let's say it's in January and you got your sows there. They've already been served.
Yes.
Just for information, the gestation period of a pig is about between 113 or 115 days.
So just above 3 months.
Yeah, but many people, the easiest one they understand is 3-3-3. 3 months,
Yes.
3 weeks, 3 days. And someone quipped that if you were to follow closely,
Yes.
it will be 3 hours. Anyway.
Wow. Interesting, yes.
So in about 4 months, you now have a litter of piglets. And I still want to
Yes.
follow his example. You got these two mothers, they have got 20 piglets.
Yes.
And you are able now to take them to the period when we say cropping or fully mature,
Yes.
that they have reached 100 kgs. Now, this kind of farming we are talking about, nobody is doing it, as a hobby. One wants to get some profit out of it.
Yes. So it
And
is
we
an
have-
income generating activity.
Yes, we have tried to crunch the numbers.
Yes.
Because without doing that, without taking notes or keeping records, really whatever you're doing is guesswork. And nobody would like to make guesswork
Yes.
with his or her money. So those piglets, when they were piglets, that's around May,
Yes.
probably around November, that is when they're about 6-7 months,
Yes.
they'll be ready to go to the market.
So maybe between 60, 70, 100 kilos, depending on
Yes,
feeding.
and many people like taking me to task and asking me, hey, tell me, how much profit are you going to make? And I say, all right, I would first of all want to let you know how much you're going to make.
Yes.
And then we work backwards how much you have used.
You've spent so far.
Those 20 piglets, which were piglets in May, they are going to fetch you 500,000 Kenya shillings.
Wow.
But that is not the end of the story. And I like to be very, very clear about that. You got to work backwards and you see how much you make per pig. And I can say if you have observed all the protocols that we are supposed to observe, that pig should be able to give you about 5,000 shillings. It's unlikely that it's going to give you more. You've already displayed the, the market trends. And since we do have free markets,
Yes.
you can't, we don't have controlled markets that you must sell pork at this price. Now, those prices that you just displayed, those are what drives the market. We
Yes,
have to go
the
by that.
indicative, yes.
Yes.
It's interesting that you put it like that, essentially, because a lot of people generally will wonder about what it costs, what it will take, the effort and those sort of things, but we'll come to that. Let's come to you, Dr. And the question then a lot of people are asking is, would it be easier to then stock pigs than stock sheep, goats, cattle, chicken? What would you say are the advantages or otherwise?
Yeah, as we move on, because I want to still stuck at where we are going economically, which is a destination we cannot get back.
Yes.
There's something we call natural attrition, where something loses relevance.
Just goes away,
It
yes.
just goes away. So nobody will force, or beef will be quite expensive as we move on. Sheep and goat meat will also be quite expensive. But as we up our productions and management of pigs and poultry, it will be number one poultry, number two pig.
Yes.
Because even in terms of consumption, for you to get a kilo of pork, you need to give like 3.2 kilos of feeds. For you to get a kilo of meat and a kilo of beef, you require like 6.5 kgs of feeds to get 1 kg of meat.
Yes.
So it will not be mathematically tenable to continue doing a lot of beef as we move on economically. Yeah. So as I will still want to stick to that, this pork industry
Yes.
will be the mainstream of meat production in this country. Yeah.
Even as we say it's going to be mainstream, it's still very, I'll say, still subsistence, not very organized, and that sort of thing. What are we missing? What do we need to do? As a professional, where would you start informaalizing this industry?
First, there are things that first we cannot force. We cannot change cultural intake.
Yes.
There are things we cannot change to tomorrow.
Yes.
But as people get more educated, as they move from rural to urban,
yes.
That is my first hope. The second one is, in terms of management, farmers will do what we call cooperates and aggregate. Farmers will aggregate and form associations. Those associations will own the value chain.
Yes.
They will own the slaughterhouses. They will own the value added or even the premium cuts. They will also own the retail.
Yes.
They will also own the eateries.
Yes.
So my hope is on aggregation of customers, and through associations, through company, through via members ownership. Yes. So aggregation is the main route that will get them there. Yeah.
And it's interesting that you say that, because I know there have been moves to even create umbrella bodies for pig farmers and that sort of thing at various efforts. But let's come to the farmer himself. What has it taken for you to get where you are? How have you been able to, so to say, make you as a successful enterprise? Well, we can see so many other people struggling with the subsistence level of operation.
Thank you. If you watch the trends of the way pork is being consumed in our country, I'll just take you back to 2008. Why I picked 2008 is because it's quite vivid to many people. That was immediately after the post-election violence.
Yes.
And fast forward to 2018, and in my area where I do come from, and I have traveled and traversed this country a lot.
Yes.
Last week I was in Bondo. I'm glad that you did put the prices of pork in those areas.
Yes.
I happen to come from Kirinyaga County. If you get 2008, you are not going to see so many people taking pork as you do have today. You just need to go to almost every town. You're going to find a pork center, a pork city, and there is something definitely that has changed. And this change has been brought about by, first of all, people understanding the way the pig is kept. I'm sure I'm going to shock most of your viewers by telling them that of all the domesticated animals that we do have, that is cow, goat, rabbit, chicken, pigs, it is the pig that is the cleanest.
Really?
Now, of course, that goes, when someone says it's hogwash,
unintended.
So it becomes an oxymoron, because what do you mean? But we've had 3 seminars. I do happen to be the secretary of a pigs group, which is over 200 pig farmers strong.
Yes.
We call it the Greater Kirinyaga pig group. And why we call it the Greater Kirinyaga is because we have taken in Muranga, we've taken in parts of Nyeri, we have taken parts of Embu, parts of Ukambani, because those are our neighboring counties.
Yes.
And I do remember in the very first seminar that we did have, there were just a handful, I could count, probably not more than 3 young people. Because again, as we talk about this, we have, I remember seeing in one of the papers, I believe it was the Standard newspaper, whereby there was something about the average age
Of
a farmer.
Yes, 60.
And those statistics are appalling. You see, because you wonder, so who is going to be producing food or pigs
Yes.
for the later generations? Now, back to your question of the pig and people really coming to appreciate it, and how you have seen the mushrooming of these pork centers, pork cities, and some of them are very tiny.
Yes.
It's because there has been a cultural, or should I say, kind of like a shift.
A culinary shift.
People do come. I happen to be a hotelier and also a self-made chef.
Yes.
And meaning that I have not been to regular school. But when he did say that pork is number 3 or number 4,
Yes.
I remember that is where it was when I started pig farming. Today, it is the number 1 type of meat that I do sell. And what changed is, first of all, people knowing how to cook. Because once you know how to cook pork, it is one of those, first of all, it's tender. And as I did say, the amount of calories you get from it, you don't have to eat a lot. You and I know always,
Yes,
we are meeting at nyama
Yes.
choma joints and all that.
Yes.
The pork, you wouldn't need to do that. And it's filling. Another thing is that Kenya is family. You want to go with your people, and even the young kids enjoy meat.
Yes.
How many people can say that you go to nyama choma and they are trying to get this
It's tough.
and it's tough.
Yes.
You see? Now, I always enjoy when I find people from the cities, when they are coming.
Yes.
They will say, no, we don't want anything to do with broilers. We don't want to do anything to do. That is what they are used in the cities. When they come, they want to have this kienyeji something.
Yes.
Kienyeji something. Now, the pork gives a certain flavor.
Yes.
And I could extend.
Yes, I want to interrupt you. We have a segment called Farm Guide, which essentially will speak into the discussion that we are having. And today, of course, it's about pork, and our producer, Jeff and Karimi, visited James Gadura, who's a pig farmer right here in Nairobi, in a place called Roy, and filed this following report. Take a look.
Dirty as the pigsty. That's what we say. It's being a common misconception when it comes to matters pigs. But you know, whatever you feed your animals depends on their growth as well as on the environment. We are at Roy having a farmer who does pig farming, and he's ready to take us through the journey where he started and where he is now.
Welcome to the pig farm inside.
Thank
See the pens. Yeah. Here you have to dip your feet to disinfect.
Okay.
Yeah, so that you don't take infection to pigs.
Okay.
Pigs are animals that need to be taken care of. Treatment more or less like human beings. So you avoid anything that can contaminate them. They have to be kept clean. Food must be clean. Food must be clean. The water they drink.
Here.
You see the way the method of feeding is water. Is through nipples, so that it cannot be contaminated. It will always be clean. Otherwise, if you put in a karai, they will poo-poo when they are drinking, and it will be contaminated.
Awesome.
From there. This is one of them. It has eaten, it is full, now it's sleeping. Once a pig is full, the next thing is to sleep. That is one of the pigs that we have.
Okay.
This is large white. It's a mother, one of the breeding mothers. Here you can find this like a maternity. If it gives birth, shouldn't come to rest here after they breastfeed.
Okay, the piglets.
The piglets. Is a place for piglets to sleep, and the mother will be left sleeping here. When I had the idea of, I developed the idea of keeping pigs, I went looking for them. With the help of veterinary, who knows the areas that people keep their farms. So I started with a female, 5. Then when I brought them, I had to go look for a male.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and that chain, it's good that even you touch it. What's the purpose of the chain to the pigs?
It gives them peace. You have to provide this. Yeah. When they have fed and they are indoor, they like chewing this. They keep them busy.
So it's a must in the pig state to find a chain like this?
It is important, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It keeps them busy.
Yeah.
Okay, so which kind of breed that you keep now?
The Raj White. And I have introduced Duroc.
You said that you started with only 5,
Only 5.
For them being female alone. So as we speak now, how many are they?
One day before yesterday, that Duroc gave birth to 8.
Wow.
And now the other one, Large White, gave birth to 12. That is from last night.
So there's this common misconception about pigs that mchafu kama nguruwe. And also you've said that whatever you feed your animals depends on the environment as well as its growth. So what do you feed your pigs?
If you feed pigs that day, they will be that day. But we have chosen to give them good foods. Whether there are different foods. There is grower, there is also finisher, and there is winner.
Okay.
At different ages. When it is breastfeeding, they feed on winner. That food, when children want to start, their piglets want to start to eat, they can share with the mother because it's soft.
At what time, maybe in a day, or how many times do you feed them?
Feeding is twice a day, morning and evening. You only feed them twice a day.
Okay.
When they take much is water. They must have water throughout.
Yeah, I can see the place. It's definitely clean. So whatever you feed your animals depends on the environment as well as its growth. Now, how do you take care of your biosecurity?
We normally control people, not anybody that can come. And in fact, we do say there are no visitors to enter. And as the people come in, there is kind of a basin there to dip their feet, which has disinfectant to avoid coming in. But we generally don't allow people, particularly people who grow pigs, they can't come here because if their pigs is infected, they will bring to us.
And the setup of the pig stay?
Yeah, we have divided rooms. One room can cater for 10 pigs. And it is self-contained. Those 10 pigs, whatever they need is there. The water, the feeding. And the waste goes through there is the system of going the waste. So what is from this one room cannot go to the other room. Now,
in terms of thermal comfort, how do you keep them warm, especially the piglets? Because I've seen them there.
Piglets, we provide electricity. There is some warm bulbs they are put where they are sleeping to keep them warm at night.
The canopy, the paper.
That canvas is to keep the weed from coming in at night, mainly at night or during the day. It has to be that way. But when it's hot, it is rolled, and then the worms comes in. But it has to be there always, that red, that green canvas is generally to keep the place warm.
Now, how do you know that your pig is ready for market?
You know, because you see it is fat. we keep them for meat. So all is aimed at making it fat to sell for meat. Yeah.
So if a pig is fat, it's ready for market.
It's ready for
and
market.
How do you find your clients? How do you do your market?
There is the slaughterhouse where we take. Yeah, there are two slaughterhouses. There is Farmer's Choice, and there is another one at Kabati. So you can choose where to take. Yeah.
How is the Farmer's Choice? Do they allow any farmer, like, is there any protocol to follow?
You have to be registered there to go.
Okay.
And also before you take, you go and book. Yes.
Awesome. So what are some of the challenges you face when doing pig farming?
That's several of them. Because sometimes you may get food that is not very good, which may cause your pigs to suffer, to diarrhea and whatever. So that's some. Then currently, animal feeds are very expensive. They are very expensive. So those are the challenges. But because we have a veterinary who comes to warm them or check them, so they're taken care of. If animal gets weak, it is treated immediately. Yeah, but we have never experienced that plague that which comes and clears the pigs here. In our place, we have never experienced that. Yeah, it's only the veterinary routine that come to deworm, coming to give iron to the piglets, and creep them, so that the only things that we go, it's only the routine things. We have never experienced challenges of sickness. Yeah.
Maybe there's someone who does not understand creeping.
Creeping, the piglets, they are creeped after the 30th day of birth. It is removing the sharp teeth so that they don't inflict their mothers as they suck.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it's done in the third day after birth.
Yeah. And if it is the other thing that follows, on the 20th day, if it is a male, it is castrated in the 20th day. Because if you allow them to grow with their sisters there, when they grow up, they must mate, and it is not good. They may not produce good things. So they are castrated the 20th day.
You have mentioned about castration, and again, you're not supposed to mix brothers and sisters. Now, how do the meetings happens? Because now we wonder how it will happen.
When they are ready for mating, you get a different male. They normally keep one. We have a male that is for that purpose only. So whichever guilt is ready is taken to that male for 3 days and then return to its room.
So what advice can you give to someone, especially as the younger ones, who want to start a pig farming, and in case maybe they have maybe one, they can't see them growing to a place like this, what advice can you give to them?
A pig, among all the animals, we would choose only to keep pigs.
Why?
Because after 8 months, so that pig is ready. Either it's either to be served or to serve, or even to be sold for meat. So, and once you have a pig, a mother pig, it will produce many kids, piglets, from 8, 10, 12, even sometimes 15. So no other animal can give you so many piglets like a pig. So it's the best animal to keep. It is also easy. You feed it twice a day. And if you keep the place room, it has not many complication of disease and sicknesses. Yeah. Once you provide the watering system like the one we have done through nipples, that's the drink the water, it can never be contaminated. So you have kept the pig from sicknesses and diseases. Yeah. The advice is be prepared because you're feeding it daily. Anything you feed it daily, it is expensive, but you can do it. The other good thing is you can start with once. You don't have to start with many. You can start even with one. See, I told you where I bought. That lady had started with only one. They gave birth to 10. Me, I went, I bought 5. So you can start with one, and there will be many before long.
Thank you.
Very interesting story there. We want to go on a short commercial break, but when we come back, we want to talk about two specific things. First off, of course, the production aspects of this, the breeds, how to increase your pigs. Where do pigs come from? In fact, my director telling me at some point that he seemed to think that pigs give birth to sausages at some point. So, of course, clearing up some of those real misconceptions right there. But for now, we go to a 2-minute break. We'll be back after that. Stay with us here on Farm Kenya.
Nilikutengenezea kitu.
From different worlds, come a trio with a shared destiny.
Nikulinde na ikuongoze.
Where will the fashion runway take them?
Mimi nitachunga maua yetu vizuri sana hadi wewe narudi.
Family business is everything.
The beauty and the beats. Shanga, Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. on Maisha Magic Plus.
Mind your business. Missing a no man away. Mind your
lazima niongeze bidii, lazima niongeze bidii. Kumwaka more blessing on me, more blessing on me. Kumwaka
And as long as that woman is by his side, then we can never get back together. That woman really has no shame. I hope she gets what she deserves.
I hope so too.
Napenda kuzitoka TikTok anakonga TikToka Big Pok anapenda stick proper
Kuku dance, everyone kuku dance.
Kitenge alinipigia tenja kisema yeni
Tatua
kati ya madenge. Wata shembe staki alikuwa njege aliwekewa matembe.
Hema, dema kona big denda, acha niwape sinema, saa 5 mchana na bado mimi sijatema.
Tuko mechi, man of the match, Leo Messi. Short ni finesse, wake up blessing.
this week on KTN Home. TVN Home, your home of entertainment.
Hi, Team Wills, here to review this masterpiece. This is a cocktail of engines.
This is our history, this is our heritage.
I got stuck in the mud, and I was alone, so I had to figure out, okay, what am I going to do?
This car has a horsepower of around 585 to 625 horsepower.
Subscription yako uwe connected. Buswa hisia na drama na telenovela freshi, movie kali, documentaries, mziki na lifestyle channel. Changamka na Star Times. Let's get ready to download Star Times on app kwa burudani kemkem wakati wowote popote ulipo. Star Times, furahia maisha kidijitali.
Kazi pamoja na tukue pamoja, kuimarisha Kenya ni jukumu la Farm Kenya.
Well, indeed, thank you for staying with us here on Farm Kenya. Again, my name is Peter Wakaba. Now, before we went on that break, we had talked about demystifying the various aspects of the production of pork, from the pig to, well, your plate. And we want to get into that now. We want, of course, to start with a bit of statistics. And I'll ask Mr. Nderitu to take us through this. You were talking about the number of pigs that we have in this country and saying that it's quite a large number. Of course, it could be more. Maybe you can talk to us about that.
Actually, the pigs are not that many when you compare with other livestock.
Yes.
The total number of pigs we do have in the country is just about 350,000. And as our doctor did point out, that the pig is very prolific. That is, it's going to give you so many piglets in a year. It will give you about 20, just one, one mother. And when you calculate and see what it translates to into, it's so many tons of meat. So we say, for example, Nairobi here, your county, we only got about 30,000 pigs. Central, we got about 92,000. Coast, we do have about 5,000. Eastern, we do have about 44,000. Northeastern, and these are figures that I have gotten from the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, at least 70. And Nyanza, 28,000, Rift Valley, 50,000, and Western, 88,000. Now that kind of gives you, a glimpse as to how the map is as far as the production of the pork is. It may not quite give you the figure on consumption, because I do believe that Nairobi is the largest consumer, but they are not the largest producers.
Those are interesting statistics, and of course, key to us creating a real and sustainable value chain. Doctor, let's come to you. Talk to us about where to start. People are in this value chain, so where do pigs come from? Where do you start if you want to set up your own piggery? How do you get into the business? Please take us step by step, including, of course, the various breeds that we can interact with. Where do we start?
I think I'll first start with the types of breed.
Yes.
For a long time we have been having two breeds.
Yes.
The large white and the Randis. Then the new entrants, the Duroc, the Berkshire, and the Hampshire. Those are they are good in meat. They add weight very fast.
Yes.
The previous two, large white and ladleys, they are just more prolific. You can get 20, even upward of 18 per liter.
Wow.
Per farrowing.
Yes.
But the meat ones are average of 12, 10. So that is the first one. That's the first area that the farmer need to get to understand that if you need them for meat,
yes,
the three, the Duroc, the Hampshire, and the Berkshire, are the meat, and they are the true meat pigs.
Quality, yes.
Yeah, but the farmer is not limited to crossing the breeds. You can cross a Duroc and the larger white. You cross a Hampshire and large. Yeah, so you are free to do those. So for you to start, I think I have a different approach.
Yes.
Whereby, depending if you want it to be an economic activity. No, there are two levels. A young man wanting to get into the industry,
yes,
or a person who worked for some time and they want to start a business of their own.
Yes.
And you cannot have a straight jacket solution for the two people.
They're different.
Yes. One has advantage of time, the other one has some money. For the one who want to maybe to have a serious livelihood,
yes,
this you need to start with around 10. 10 not 10 sows, but 10 piglets or winners. We call them winners.
Yes, winners. So they've grown up a bit,
yes,
but are not suckling.
Yes, they are not suckling.
Yes.
Yeah, because you can those one requires just a standard construction house. For construction, what I would urge, whether it is the starter who is younger or the older one, you need a vet first.
Yes.
And a construction guy from your area.
Yes.
A vet will give the instruction on parameters and functionalities of that piggery house.
Yes.
Because currently we may want to use a standard housing for all the republic, for the entire republic, but it cannot work. We have very high areas which are cold at night. Some are like Kinangop. Kinangop is throughout.
Yes.
You cannot use what we call the standard house.
Yes.
There are some areas like Makueni. You have a lot of very hot.
Yes.
Even people in Isiolo are doing it. You cannot give them a standard house.
Yes.
So you are there to guide you on the functionality of the house that you are
yes,
going
depending on your location.
Yes, he will guide the construction guy. So you need those two guys.
Yes.
So if you want to start with 10, there are some measurements that the doctor will give you, depending with also the area. Yeah. So the guy who want to start, who have advantage of time.
Yes.
I would say you start with a male,
yes,
and a female, a winner.
Yes.
Because that is 5,000. A male that is 5,000 and a female that is 5,000. You just need a very small structure for that.
Yes.
And you get them from, I would advise you get them from different farmers.
Yes,
but
inbreeding.
Yes, but we have a national problem.
Yes.
A national inbreeding problem. Because you see, you don't have database. Like in cattle,
yes,
we have what we call the Kenya Stud Book, which keeps the pedigrees and the record of where you can get good pedigree animals.
Yes, and which ones interacted with which ones before. Yes.
Yes, but in Kenya, we still have that lacuna. We don't have. You may get a serious farmer who is doing it in Kiambu, who has sold pigs to almost the entire republic. So at least to some degree, we are almost doing some inbreeding.
Wow.
So, but sometimes back there was I don't know whether it's still functioning. That was called a board that was called the Poultry Board of Kenya. A pig, it was Pig Board of Kenya.
Yes.
And some of its function was like to regulate those things, to ensure that there is a database.
Yes.
If I want to get Duroc, I can get them from Patrick.
But that's a problem that can be resolved through artificial insemination.
Yeah, it can be solved through, but the availability of artificial insemination also. So if somebody is in Isiolo and they want to, their sow showed signs of heat, And
By the time we talk in Nairobi.
Yeah. So it's a solution, but it has a geographical limitation.
But these services are available.
Yeah, that's an option. So, as you remember, there is a time, my first statements, I talked about aggregation.
Yes.
And coming together of farmers. Some of these institutions will come to life when farmers aggregate.
Yes.
Because you see, if like Patrick here, his group, they know that we started with this one. If you want to get a good mother of Duloc, you can get from him. If you want to get a good boy, you get from another farmer. Those institutions will come by.
Yes.
So as long as there is hope that this animal, that pig or pork is the meat of the future, those institutions will arise. Yeah, but you cannot. It's there to do what we call having a cart.
Yes.
A cart before the horse.
The horse.
To establish an institution before there is a challenge. Yeah.
Okay, let's come to you, Bonanderito. And Daktari here has said a lot of things. People, of course, might struggle to understand everything in one sitting. I want you to talk about aggregation. You said already that you're part of a farmers group. Talk to us about that, where it started, why you became part of that group, what the group does, and then, of course, the role of aggregation, and then we'll go from there.
Thank you. I would first of all want to give credit to the person who first of all came up with this vision of starting a group.
Yes.
And it was not a man, it was a lady. Her name is Julie. We talked and she said, I'm going to form this group. And as I did mention, today it has got over 200 members. Now, there's something he did mention about those pig breeds, and also you did ask about AI, and I would like to try to expound on that a little bit.
Yes.
Because many people may not understand that AI in our country, first of all, is limited, and distance also. But secondly, the pig is a very unique animal. It got to be served twice in a span of about 24 hours, but with an interval of about 12 to 14 hours.
Okay.
Meaning that if you have a pig served now,
yes,
you will have to wait, or if the inseminator will have to come back with his or her equipment
tomorrow after 14 hours.
About 14 hours later. So that makes insemination not very viable for so many people.
And they say that sometimes you have to count the nipples that the pig has to determine the number of times you will serve it, so as to determine the number of kids.
Okay, it's like this.
Yes.
The number of teats that a pig has can tell you roughly about how many piglets it's going to be able to handle. Now, and not just that.
Yes.
We like looking at the pig from a distance.
Yes.
And then you check if you can count 7 teats on one side. And those teats, they should not be looking like stubs.
The vestige.
The leaner they are, the better. So now, when we are selecting who the future gilt is going to be, those are some of the things that we look at.
And gilt here is the mother.
The gilt is the future, is the crown jewel of the pig farm.
Of production.
Yes. If you do not have a good gilt, then you're almost doomed, because for the boar, if you don't have the boar, you can have AI.
Yes.
Or you can borrow a boar.
But you must have the mother.
But for the mother, this gilt, and again, they also don't go for so many farrowings. Usually they can go up to 6, but the older they become, the more problems you get. So it is up to you, the farmer, to observe and see the first farrowing, we call it, or the first parity, second, third. By the time you get to around 4, for example, in my case,
yes,
I dispose them when they are about parity 4.
That's 3-4 years.
That is about the first the first time you
serve
it's actually about 3 years because you serve it when it's about 240 days.
Yes.
That's about 8 months. There's something we call SLP, sow lifetime productivity. There are some people who will want to serve the pig too early.
Yes.
That doesn't give it longevity. You want to make sure that the age goes with the size. So that's why we have to wait until they are about 8 months. Yeah.
Talk to us about, you talked about a conference where people can get information.
Yes. There is going to be an upcoming seminar, and it is fully sponsored. It's going to be held at Janarest Hotel. It's going to happen on the 6th of July, which is a Saturday.
Yes.
And the participants are also going to be fed. Actually, they are going to be fed pork. And there will be 2 doctors, one of them talking about nutrition, the other one talking about the health of animals, that is the diseases and their prevention. And there will be somebody specifically talking about the kind of aggregation that Daktari talked about. And this is about marketing, because so many farmers are suffering. Yes, I have raised them. They have reached this stage. Now it's the marketing. And people are so frustrated. I remember when I was growing up, I grew up in Nyandarua.
Yes.
And those days there used to be uplands.
Yes.
And what used to happen is that farmers would grow their pigs with no worries, and then they would put them in bogies. That is the train.
The train, yes.
And it would they would all be tattooed, and they would get to uplands.
Yeah.
And then after that, they are going to be receiving checks. Now, today, it's a different ball game altogether. And in connection with this, I really want to mention about something that is just about to happen. And it is the Meat Expo, which is going to be on the 12th to the 14th.
Yes.
I have attended...
Of which month?
Of this month.
This month.
Oh.
It's actually the day after tomorrow.
Where?
It's at KICC. It has been all over.
Wow.
Now, I did visit the last 2, you know, just as a visitor.
Yes.
And I wanted to see what was happening. And of course, what I saw is that there was a lot of beef, a lot of beef. Goat, kidogo, camel, and there was, I did mention chicken. And there is one thing, and you did ask in your other segment about the perception of people and the pig and the taste and all that. I had wanted to go there, and I get a chance to showcase the pork cooked and people eat, and they would
tasting.
really change the way they think about the pig. But then when I asked for,
Yes.
I think it is
A
like
stand.
what, a stand,
Yes.
it was prohibitive.
Yeah, the cost.
150,000. And
Wow.
so I said, okay. So what you get there is that the big producers are the ones who get the chance to come
they're
and
dominating.
showcase their products. I've got really nothing against them. It's only that I can see the organizers is the ministry. If they would reach out that in our country, yes, we have got this meat, we have got this meat, we want all of it to be well represented, it would be possible. And I can say here on national television
Yes.
that even in a span of about 24 hours, if we were told, hey, you got this, can you come and showcase? We would. Yes.
Gentlemen, we are almost out of time, so I want to give you time for final thoughts. I want to start with you, Dr. When we think about the pork sector and where we would like it to go, living here, what would you like to live in people's minds as the thing that they need to think about the most as we say that we are trying to get this sector up and going?
Thank you very much for the show, number one. I will tell them that the truth of the matter is that as a country move to the next level, pork will be the mainstream, part of the mainstream meat, and it is good to be part of that reality. That is one. Number two, if you want to achieve that, you must engage professionals around, the vets, the construction people. Also, number three, which is very important, you get a reliable feed producer, or a feed, you get alliance with a food producer. I was talking to Patrick here, tukasema, when they aggregate, they have the weight to approach a company and say that our feeds must have this standard, this standard, this standard. Or even when you move, when you look at all the standardization of feeds, some of them cannot really achieve. Achieve what the target. Yes, we cannot. So if we have a force like an aggregated unit, another a company here, those relationships can deliver this. So number 4 is that if we observe the biosafety measures, proper biosafety measures, biosecurity measures, and the animal that we call pig is a very easy animal to rear. Very easy to rear. Proper feed, biosafety.
Yes, proper husbandry.
In having proper professionals on your farm, or who visit your farm, you will get it right.
Okay. Yeah. Patrick, I want to close with you. Essentially, being a person who walks the talk, what would you like to leave in people's minds about this today? Even as we say that we want to make this mobile-based, we want people to take up eating of pork, we want to drive production, and even take control of the marketing aspect.
I would sum it in probably one sentence, and it is about coming together. And I remember, although this was in politics, whereby someone said that if we don't hang together, we are going to hang separately. Now, many pig farmers, many of us are hanging separately. We got to come together. When we come together, our voice is going to be heard. Our purchasing power is going to reverberate even in those mills, and we are going to enjoy economies of scale in ways whereby whatever we want to get, if it's ingredients or such like things, the AI services is going to be cheaper. But I got a clarion call to the counties and the central government that, for example, and this is very, very important. If you ask any pig farmer in the country, 9 out of 10, they go to the agrovets and they buy feeds known as sow and winner.
Sow and winner, yes.
If you go and check in KEBS, our Kenya Bureau of Standards, you're going to find that the sow and winner, since after 2019, it is not one of those regulated products.
Really?
What you're going to find there is the starter, that is the pig starter,
mash, yes.
the pig grower, the finisher, and the lactator. What now that translates into is that anybody, any Tom, Dick, and Harry can go and start making sow and winner,
yes,
right, left, and center.
Real challenge.
And for that farmer, genuine, goes to the agrovet, nataka hiyo sow and winner. Hiyo sow and winner ni akina nani? Hawa wanatengeneza sow and winner mzuri. But because they are not regulated,
they do what they
then
want.
you get, rough people. Now,
very briefly.
Yes.
Your final thoughts, because we have run out of time.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. So I'll just give you maybe a 30 seconds to just wind.
Yes. Pig farmers, the number one killer of piglets is pneumonia. And keep those piglets warm. That is what I would tell my fellow farmers. The other thing is that just like a mother, when she is suckling, you have got uji here, you have got soup here, and she keeps on taking it. I would tell my fellow farmers, for that lactating mother, who you are by ananyonyesha watoto, feeding is not twice a day, morning and evening. You feed it as and when she wants, about 4 to 5 times, and you're going to have very healthy piglets and a very healthy mother.
Okay.
Thank you.
Indeed, thank you very much, gentlemen. It has been a very illuminating conversation. Unfortunately, we are out of time. Both Dr. and, of course, Bwana Ndirito here, thank you very much for your time. Indeed, to say that we will invite you again to studio to have more of this discussion, essentially, because I know people will want to know how to move this forward. But unfortunately, viewers, that is it for this edition of Farm Kenya. My name is Peter Wakaba. It has been a blast. We'll see you again next time. But remember, we'll be here tomorrow at the same time with more on Farm Kenya. Do continue to enjoy the rest of your viewing.
Kuwa mkono ambao unalima ardhi, mlango wa mkulima, kuwa mshindi, kuwa na uhakika sasa, kukulea mustakabali wa baadaye. Tufanye kazi pamoja na tukue pamoja, kuimarisha Kenya ni jukumu.